Marius Gherovici was born in 1927 in Bucharest, Romania. At age 14, he became aware of the war when the German units began killing thousands of Jews. Marius was sent to the Chisinau ghetto, which he later fled. After escaping, Marius returned to Bucharest and soon left to Argentina to start his family. His children soon moved to the States, and after 50 years of living in Argentina, Marius and his wife Martha moved to Philadelphia to reunite with their children.
The story is, here I am practically 90 years old. I was participating in a lot of trouble. In some way I survived. It arrived in one moment, I don't know why and how I did it. But always I have the help from something special. Something special could be, if you are religious, to say, God give you a hand. And also I would say, what helped me, education, instruction, because we have a lot of information, or a lot of training, a lot of education, and especially, I suppose, because I spoke very well German, Russian, Romanian, Italian, French, and last part of the war, English, it's helped me a lot. Helped me a lot, my education, because I was confronted of soldier or terrorists, which were people which practically didn't have too much education. So many times we knew something better than them. We can manage some way. I was born in Romania, and practically all Eastern Europe, they hate a lot the Jews, and normally they hate everyone. They hate more the Jews because the Jews were there, and many times, as I saw it in Ukraine and Lithuania, Belarus, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, they hate the Jews, but they also use it like a tool. And many villages, they saw the nice houses owned by Jews, and they kill the Jews and they grab the houses. Another place, the horses, and modern style, they grab the car. If you have a nice car, because you were a Jew, you were killed, and they grab the car. So many times they hide their economic profit in saying anti-Semitism. I feel it from the first moment, because the government in Romania, to be a citizen in Romania, you have to be born a citizen of Romania. So you have 3 or 4 generations of Jews in Romania which were not citizens, and they were born 3 or 4 generations in Romania. The only mean to be a citizen is to be a son of a citizen. And my father acquired the citizenship of Romania because in the First World War he was a medical doctor in the Russian army, and they fought on the Romanian front, and they were allied. They chased the Austrian and the German from Romania, so all the people who were fighting for Romania were Romanian citizens. So I was born son of Romanian citizen. But in the school they hate me, and they continuously call me special name and so forth, because my religion was different. I have anti-Semitism from the first day going to the school, because the school was state, and they pray, and they put apart the Christian and the non-Christian. So 5 minutes after beginning school, you knew who is the Christian and who is not the Christian, so he's probably Jewish. They would look to the children which was more vulnerable, and I was not. I was a good sportsman. I did every kind of sport, so they were a little bit more careful with me. They insult me, but tried not to insult too strongly, because they were scared the result of the situation could be. And you know, the coward respect force. They were coward, and they were looking for something which a guy slim, small, was glad. Glasses was a easy prey, not me. Our family was my father, a medical doctor, my mother a dentist, and my sister and myself. My sister 5 years elder than me. My mother has an enormous family. My father also a smaller family. My father, his story began this way. They were about 6, and his youngest brother was killed in the pogrom in Chisinau in 1905. My father has a sister, Olga, a doctor, Anyuta, a dentist, Fanny, pharmacist, and another one, Rebecca, pharmacist. They perished in the war. My mother, there were 6 siblings. 2 of them were living in Romania. They were killed by the Romanian troops, and they killed about 10,000 people, male. They came in every house and they took the male and they shot the male. Other uncle was in jail during the Romanian occupation and he died. 2 sisters were during the war in Russia and they died during the war. Yes, before the war I had a big black dog, big Great Dane, and this dog was useful because his hearing was much better than mine, and by the way, my hearing now isn't so good, so you have to speak loud. And he knew the good airplane, the bad airplane. The good airplane is no problem. The bad airplane is, they arrive, they bomb you. And he helped me a lot during the life in the ghetto because we were starving and we were always hungry. And with him, I was scavenging for something to eat, grasses and refuses and rest of food, and a long story, and he helped me a lot. So after a house was burned, bombed or destroyed, in the basement sometimes scavenging you can find food. So with my dog we used to scavenge houses which were on the border of the ghetto. And one of the day, going from one part of the bomb house to the other part, putting aside debris and so forth, I took a look backward and I realized the sentry with the rifle and bayonet was behind me, the barbed wire was behind me, and the ghetto was behind me. So I found a way to go out from the ghetto and to return anytime I wanted. The only problem is they catch you out of the ghetto, they shot you on sight. And also in the ghetto we were obliged to use the yellow star in the front, a yellow star in the back. So I took out the yellow star and I went to the city to buy or to find food. Romania slowly turned to the German side. In Romania you have Iron Guard was continuous killing politicians and killing people and killing Jews. And but for me the practical Holocaust began strongly after the beginning in our area of the Second World War. The Second World War began in 1939 in Poland, but I was living in a province called Moldova, which was Romanian, Russian, Romanian, Russian, Romanian, Russian. And this time it was Soviet Union province called the state of Moldova. And 22nd of June began the Second World War. And then began the war, the bombing and so forth. Then the Germans entered our city about middle of July. And the first day when they arrived, Einsatzkommando killed 11,000 Jews. And then they continued to go forward behind the German army. The German army went 1,000 miles from this area forward to Stalingrad. And they gave this area to the Romanian government not only this area called by Romanian Bessarabia, but also part of Ukraine. And they decided to put the Jews in ghetto, to oblige them to work, to shoot, to kill them every time they profit from the situation, and then to deport the rest of the Jews to Transnistria when they continue to kill the people there. Europe is a small continent, and if you have a good radio, in a good old time, the radio was important. If you have a good radio, you can listen to radio from Germany, England, France, Italy, and Czechoslovakia, Bulgaria, and many other countries. My father spoke very well German, and we spoke at home French and a different language. And every night my father was listening to the radio. The most important radio was the German, because the enemy was there. So he was listening to all Hitler discourses, and he knew what was approaching us, because Hitler was saying loud and clear what he wanted to do. He said a crazy, paranoid, megalomaniac guy which is going to destroy Europe and going to destroy everyone else. Hitler has a leitmotif. I mean, always the problem of Germany were the Jews. And the only problem he had was the Jews. But he has a small problem. He wants to control everyone in the world. He wants to kill the Jews, the Gypsy because they have a dark skin, to keep the Pole, to kill the Ukrainian, to kill the Belarusian. He wants to make an enormous Germany. He was calling it Lebensraum. It means space for living millions and millions and millions of good German. His point of view, good German is white, tall, blonde, and blue eyes, and strongly Nazi. The worst part is, it was you cannot sleep well. You sleep with one open eye, and you are continuously waiting for the dead to be dead the next day. It's the tension to be hiding or to do something was terrible. Comparing with this, bombing, artillery, shooting, and so forth was easy. The worst was you yourself sleeping and trying to hide yourself. And this was the worst part. After the war, Europe was so destroyed, so ugly. I wanted to go away and to leave it behind me, to begin a new life and a new area. Never went to the war, never shot and killed people to the right and to the left. I want to live, because during 4+ years I didn't live, I didn't sleep, I didn't enjoy the life. I only suffered and I tried to survive. After the war, my sister was married, and her husband has an aunt living in the United States. And she sent the necessary paper to immigrate to the United States for my sister and my brother-in-law. And even they bought a house in Coral Gables, Florida, so they have a place to arrive to the United States. But the Romanian government didn't allow my sister to depart, because she became a famous writer, and until one day they criticized the government and her house, so she and a lot of ladies was put in jail. My sister went 3.5 years in jail by criticizing the government. But meantime, I knew my sister is going to live in the United States. I want to do it also. So during the war, we separate, we meet, we separate, we meet. We decided, you go this way, I'm going to go my way. So I quit Romania, I went to Italy, from Italy to Brazil, from Brazil to Paraguay. I want to go to Argentina because my grandfather has brother there. but the Argentinian government didn't allow Jews. So everyone went to Paraguay, and after a certain time, illegally crossed the border to Argentina. To live illegally, I lived 3.5 years illegally in Argentina until I managed to receive my residence paper. And many years later, I became a citizen. Yes, many.
Can you sing one or no?
When my son was born, and we brought him from the hospital home, the first night I began to sing him the song which I remember from my early age. It was a Russian song for "Sleep my baby, sleep my baby." And your father is far away, he's fighting on the war, but you can sleep quietly and safely because I'm caring about you. Something like that.